I walked out of there and he's like, bro, you got your fucking jacket. So the debut, if you go back to reality wrestling, my first red leather jacket is 50 cents.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy, the Wrestling Classic, Justin, and I am here with Rain City Toys, Arvy, for a special episode of the TWC Show. I can't even say the name of my own show. Trying to, maybe I'm a little nervous because of our guests, but we're going to try to get some more interviews on this show. I want to put a spotlight of some of the hottest stars on the independents. And there's someone that's been showing up on my feed quite a bit. I've been seeing him here and there, wrestling some big names, doing some things at Reality of Wrestling. None other than Max Castellanos. Did I say that properly, Max?
You almost had it correct. But here's the thing. You forgot a very important part. You forgot to mention that I am the 3-time Reality Wrestling Texas champion. So if you don't mind, could you please redo it again?
I'm going to redo the eating. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy, the Wrestling Classic here, and I'm here with Rain City Toys, Arvy. We've got a very special guest, the 3-time Reality of Wrestling heavyweight champion, Max Castellanos. I added the heavyweight in there to make it a bigger deal because it is.
It is a big deal. And you see, I got this big-ass stogie right here with me that I'm about to smoke. But thank you very much for having me, guys. I'm looking forward to our conversation. So let's get to it.
I have a ton of questions to ask you, but I ask everybody this. So I want to start off with you, just to step away from Max Castellanos, the superstar that he is today. When you were a kid, who influenced you? Who was a wrestler that you kind of was like, I like that person, I want to be like them?
Not wanting to be like them, but definitely influenced me since day one. And I will always give credit where credit is due, and that is Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think, I honestly believe growing up, I always liked to study people's careers. And Stone Cold Steve Austin was never a second-generation wrestler. He never had that connect of saying, hey, come on around, you know this guy. You see the progress from when he started in 89 to when he tore his tricep, went to ECW, started cutting those promos. And then you just see the difference as far as the adversity he went through life and being told no, then 1,000 times, being told no 1,000 times. And then eventually he turned that no into a yes, where preparation meets opportunity. And man, I think he was a perfect storm. And when I started watching in 97, I was 4 at the time. He was the guy that I gravitated to. There was something about it. It seemed like a lot of people. Has to be the charisma, had to be everything. But it's like, man, I want to wrestle. And I want to do what he's doing. And ever since then, I never stopped watching.
What a great year to get into wrestling, 1997. Yeah. Just like a peak year on all fronts. It's one of my favorite years. Just so that people get to know you a little bit better. Because we were talking off the air a bit, and you're talking about how you know how to speak Italian, you know how to speak Spanish. What is your ethnicity? What is your background?
I'm 23% Italian. I was born in Texas, but I was raised in northern Mexico. So I have a lot of different life experience. The way life is in Mexico is very different than United States. And man, I grew up around a lot of, lucha libre, but for some reason, I didn't gravitate towards lucha libre. If you see my style in the ring, my style is more American. I'm not a luchador guy. I'm 6'2", 235, 240 pounds. Not a light guy just jumping off the top rope. I'll catch the guys and slam them and put them through a table. But my dad would take me to AAA shows, and I was just like, I don't want to be wearing a mask. I want people to see my face. I'm a good-looking guy. I was always a good-looking kid. So I said, one day when the time is right, I'm going to do what I know I always could do. And by the grace of God, he gave me talent. He gave me charisma. And he gave me patience to slowly find myself over the years. And now at year 9, I'm not a big guy in numerology, but if you look at numerology, the number 9 equals completion. Max Castellanos is complete, and Max Castellanos is ready for the next level. It's just a matter of time.
You ain't got nothing, Arvy?
Oh, I'm just mesmerized by this guy right now, right? The are there, We know you're into acting as well. You played some big roles there too. And when I look at this guy, I'm already thinking why this guy isn't in WWE. Yeah, I
What
see
a compliment.
titles already.
Let me ask you this. Julio. Oh, go ahead. What were you
No. Go for it.
No, because I was, you talked earlier on about like you're not a second generation superstar. You're working from the grind, Stone Cold style and whatnot. But you've wrestled second generation superstars. You wrestled Carlito. You see all these nepo babies getting signed to the big leagues. Does that bother you at all a little bit?
No.
How was it?
Yes.
How was it work? How was it work with Carlito?
Carlito's a tremendous guy in and out of the ring. And at the time, this was in 2021. I was doing this chair gimmick. So I started this chair gimmick around 2018 where I would put my logo in the chair and I would go around and I would sign the chair at the end of the shows and I would sell them. So I remember Carlito, I walked in with one of my chairs. And then at the time, I also had 4 different colored chairs selling on my merchandise table. And he asked me, he's like, you sell those? I was like, yeah. He's like, how much? I'm like, 100 a piece. He's like, how many have you sold today? I'm like, about 6 of them. Yo, hustler.
Pretty good, yeah.
And
just selling some chairs,
Yeah, it's just kind of broke the ice, and we was like, hey man, what's going on? And cool. By the time we know it, we went out there. We had a great match. We were able to do the Apple gimmick. But it was a tremendous experience. I have nothing against second generation wrestlers. That's completely fine. The thing is everybody has a different journey to the final destination. Everybody was given talents. Everybody was given a gift to do something in this life. Because at the end of the day, everything you know and everyone you know will perish one day, will disappear. Your pets, your loved ones, your friends, girlfriend, boyfriend, everything is going to disappear. Same thing, your talents, your windows of opportunity. You have your youth. Cool, you're in your 20s, you're strong, you can stay up late, you can take the bumps. You're in your 30s, man, it starts catching up depending the way you live your life. Then you get in your 40s. That's when some people start waking up. Here's the thing. For me, when I broke into the business, I broke in at the right place, wrong time. Meaning, my first ring was a WWE ring. I was a powerlifting guy. I was 21 years old. I was at the Arnold Classic, and I bumped into the right person at the wrong time. And I asked him, sir, how do all this works? He's like, do you speak Spanish? I'm like, yes, sir. He's like, how tall are you? 6'2". How much do you weigh? At the time, I was 260 pounds. Here's a card. I look at the card. It says Director of Talent Relations for WWE. Send me an email with everything you just told me and send me a couple pictures. Next thing I know, 3 weeks later, I'm in Orlando, Florida, the WWE Performance Center in 2015, September 16th, when I turned 22 years old, was a WWE tryout. I had never taken a bump. I had never done a row. I have never ran the ropes. And I remember I was number 8 because everybody had a number. I was number 8. And I go up and I said, man, this is where all the greats have been. Like, I'm in a WWE ring. My first ring is a WWE ring. And they said, all right, guys, we're going to do quarter rows, front rows, back bumps, front bumps. What the fuck? It's like they were talking. I'm sorry, I don't know if I can cuss, but it's like, what language are we speaking here? I go through all the days, 3 days of, it was 8 to 10 hours of training. They pull me to the side. They're like, you have a good look. You have good size. Unfortunately, you don't have the skills. We can't offer you anything. So that's completely fine. Thank you very much for having me. What can I do next? He's like, go back wherever you're from, Texas. Relocate either San Antonio, Dallas, or Houston. Find a reputable school and make a name for yourself. And if you're ever good enough, you'll find a way inside here. I went back home, quit my job, moved to San Antonio, Texas at the time, started wrestling school. Graduated within 3 months, started making the rounds, wrestling in front of 3 people in Laredo, Texas, driving all the way to Mississippi to wrestle in front of 200 people that hated my guts, drive to Louisiana, drive to Arkansas, Los Angeles, New York City, back down to Texas. Hey, sending the emails. Hey, look at this. Not good enough. Not good enough. Keep trying. Good luck. Fast forward, June of 2018, I get a call. Hey, we need an extra guy for NXT. Cool. Fly my ass over. Drive NXT. You have a match against Kona Reeves tonight. Pull me in. Michael Hayes is like, kid, how long you been working? So 2 years, sir. Okay. This. Can you get it done? Yes, sir. Go out there, hit everything on cue. Very good job, kid. Michael Cole, good job, kid. Triple H, good job, kid. Next, the following week, I get a WWE tryout again. Now I'm ready. I do the 3 days. Cut 2 promos, one in English, one in Spanish. And I asked, can I cut 1 mix? They're like, no, we're fine with 2. Cool. Always going the extra mile. And they pull me to the side. Hey, you're going to be one of the guys that we're going to bring in. Go talk to your family. This and that. I said, I made it. 1 week later, I get an email that says, that offer no longer stands. Good luck. Man. So I started in front of the line. Right place, wrong time, because of lack of preparation, because I didn't know, but I was willing to ask, hey, how does all this work? An opportunity was given to me, meaning I was able to taste a little bit of success. And then they said, no, go to the back of the line. And if you really want this, you're going to make the line and you're going to wait for your turn. Fast forward 9 years later, adversity, death, everything that has happened in my personal life developed the person I am today. People say, oh, Max, that's a great character. It ain't a character. It's really who I am. Cigars, I smoke them. Women, I love them. Championships, I've won when I used to powerlift, bodybuild. Whiskey, it's an every other day thing. I mean, really, sunglasses, glasses, leather jackets. I like to dress nice. I like fast cars. I like to take things away from people. I like to feed my own ego because everybody has a fucking ego. Everybody wants to be seen. If not, why do girls wear makeup to go to the gym and look all dolled up? Because they want to be seen. Why do guys wear tank tops and oil up to go to because they want to be seen? Everybody has an ego, but very few people will admit they have an ego. I don't care. I do have an ego and I got to feed it constantly every single day, every single time I step foot in the ring, every time I can tell you in your face that I have the Texas Championship belt, I will tell you because my story will be told one day. And I can never say, hey, I got a handout. Hey, because my cousin, my friend over here. No. I earned everything. And when I got told no 1,000 times, I turned that no into a yes. Does that answer incredible. Your question?
That was incredible. That was answered more than one question. That answered a lot of questions. I think people will leave this knowing more about you, but I'd also put out a table for me to have all these other questions. Hey, yo, it's your boy, the Wrestling Classic, Justin here. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other shows on the Wrestling Classic YouTube channel, like the TWC Show where me and Arvy talk everything wrestling, updates, new things, old things. We just talk about it all. Mount Rushmore's got you guys pretty mad. And if you haven't already, check out Just Yapping. We talk about a little bit more things about our own personalities outside of wrestling. A biker kicked my car. Arvy's doesn't take his kids to Disneyland. I don't know why. Check out Just Yapping. Check out the TWC Show. And also, if you haven't already, I'm in Arvy's garage, Rain City Toys garage. If you need toys, check out raincitytoys.com. Follow him on TikTok. Follow him on Instagram. He's trying to catch up to me. I don't think he's going to, but at least try to help him, get him there a little bit. If you guys want loose toys, there's loose toys. If you guys want old school toys, new toys, AEW, WCW, Legends, all that stuff, CDs, magazines, raincitytoys.com. Like, comment, subscribe, engage with the YouTube channel. The more you guys engage, the bigger guests I get for casual conversations. And if you guys have been enjoying that series, you have to comment, you have to like, you gotta share it. Wrestling Classic YouTube channel, subscribe, like, comment, keep doing the thing, enjoy the rest of the show. Dig it!
Obviously, you went through adversity and you've gone through a lot. What was there anything you did in particular to manage your emotions and manage your energies and everything you went through? Was there something that you kind of leaned towards or did? So I guess you kind of stayed on that path of what you wanted to do.
So here's the thing is, when you're born with the innocence of, we don't know anything in this world. When you're a kid and kids have these career days, that's when you ask them and they're at their purest state. What do you want to be when you grow up? Man, I want to be an actor. I want to be the president of the United States. I want to be a wrestler. I want to be a basketball player. A few years go by. Then society, status quo, everything's like, no. You got to go to college. You got to go get in debt. You got to have kids by this age. You got to get married by this age. No. Leave that for everybody else. You start accepting mediocrity. You start accepting your 8 to 5, and that's life. You start looking like, I can't wait to retire and be 65, drinking a pina colada in South Beach when you can do it at 31 years old and driving a Lambo. I mean, if you think about it, being 65, all wrinkly, and you're not strong anymore, drinking a pina colada, or you're 31 years old being at South Beach. I mean, pick one.
Yeah.
The choice is yours. Same thing like Scarface used to say, the world is yours.
Yeah.
You pick and choose. Everything has a consequence. When we're fighting these demons in our head of saying, you can't do it, is it going to happen? I don't stay up at night sometimes from nightmares that I have is of, am I doing enough to get where I want to get? Because that window is getting shorter every single time. Different windows, different times. Wrestling career, the window's a lot shorter than, let's say, retirement. I mean, retirement can go all the way to 65, 70. But wrestling career, if you're not injured, if this doesn't happen, if you don't get in a car crash, so many things can go wrong for you to make it. So how do you protect that energy? I don't know. What do you do? Do you go to the gym? Do you hit the bar? Do you smoke more cigars? Do you find more women to, I don't know, maybe a little bit of everything? Or maybe you stand in front of the mirror and you made a promise to yourself that one day you were going to be at the biggest, work for the biggest company of the world. And God gave you these talents and gave you the height and gave you the weight and gave you the work ethic and gave you the talent, charisma, the timing, because this business is about timing. Think about it. John Cena himself said in his documentary that he was going to be let go. And then he was rapping and happens Stephanie McMahon passes by and listens. Imagine if Stephanie McMahon would have never made that tour, or Stephanie McMahon would have gotten off earlier, or where would John Cena be? Where would be one of the greatest of all time be? What if Stone Cold Steve Austin never tore his tricep? What if he never got fired from WCW? Would there be a WWE right now? What if The Rock would have made it to the NFL? Would they be a Dwayne Johnson actor right now, or would they just be a Hall of Famer Dwayne Johnson in the NFL? You don't know that. It's the timing. It's the when the shit goes wrong in your life, you're like, why is this happening? Maybe that's supposed to happen because your future self is going to look back and like, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't become the person I am. So every single bad thing that has happened to me, every single thing is leading me into the place I need to be. I choose to look at life like that because I have a higher chance of winning. If I sit there and I moan, bitch, and complain about why this and why that, how come it hasn't happened? No. It's happened when it needs to happen. As long as I'm doing everything I can in my power every single day, showing up to the gym, training, dieting, preparing myself, saying the right emails, having the right communication with the right people, with the right coaches, and you have a good product. And your promos are better than some guys on TV. Wait till that phone rings. Hey, can you do this in Spanish? Yes, sir. Can you do this in Italian? Yes, sir. Can you do this in English? Yes, sir. I can even do it in sign language. I can do it. That's the hunger that is missing in today's world. Because everything in today's world is, you want to see a movie. Back then, we would go to Blockbuster. You had to drive, get in your car, drive, go get a movie, pay for it, come back in your car. Now, it's on demand. I don't even have to move my feet. Everything in life is now easy. So that's why the competition is really not that stiff if you think about it. So what happens if you have the old school mentality, like if the competition is that stiff, man, you have a higher chance to win. So that's the way I overcome all these things. Because I know my future self already exists in the WWE. My future self of who I am, it's already alive. I just need to find my way into that person. And when that's accomplished, I knew that guy was going to do it. I knew when I talked to him, he had it. But along the way, nobody's clapping you at 5 a.m. when you got to get up and go train. Nobody's clapping you when everybody's saying, no, not right now. Nobody's clapping at you when you're like, how am I going to make my next move? How am I going to come up with the next promo? How am I going to come up with the next merchandise to stay relevant? That's your fucking problem. Figure it out. That's life.
Yeah.
That's why life makes you ruthless. That's why I have very little patience for stupidity. I have very little patience for ignorance because I've been through so much in my short life. And when people come to me with their excuses instead of the right questions of, hey, what about this? Intelligent guy. I like this guy. Nah, well, this fucking shit happened. My grandpa just died, so I can't continue this career because I'm very sad and depressed. Big fucking deal. You know it's gonna happen. Everybody will perish one day. Same like I said earlier. It's gonna happen. Did you enjoy them? Did you take the pictures with them? Did you hug them and say, I love you as many times as you could? Cool. It's good to go. I'll see you on the other side one day. We don't know what's on the other side. Nobody really knows. People want to pretend like they do know because it gives us a sense of clarity, it gives us a sense of peace. But most importantly, it gives us a sense of power. So am I any different than all the people that, oh, Max, you're narcissistic levels, you're manipulative levels, we're the same. I'm just very expressive about it. Big difference.
I think you just summed up Justin's sweatshirt that he's wearing. That's what
Hey yo, it's your boy, the Wrestling Classic Justin here, and I'm here to tell you guys about one of wrestling's best kept secrets for merchandise, officially licensed WWE and NXT merchandise, 500level.com. Check them out, 500level.com. Get officially licensed merchandise for the WWE, NXT, UFC, MLB, NBA, NHL. They got it all. If you join the Partnership Point program as a loyal customer, you will get discounts down the road. You can find merchandise for some of your favorite NXT stars that you can't find anywhere else. Javon Evans, Kalani Jordan, Carmen Petrovic, Lola Vice, Trick Williams. They got merchandise for everybody on NXT. You got OG shirts like this NWO shirt. You got big stars like the Queen Charlotte Flair. You get new designs like this new design for Lita. You get designs I helped out with, like this design for Dakota Kai, which I was a part of creating when Dakota didn't have those many shirts going on. You can get, like I said, NXT superstars like Carmen Petrovic and many others. You can get OGs like the none other than the Hot Rod, Roddy Piper. You can get CM Punk, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, anybody you want. Sami Zayn's 500level.com. Check them out. You can even get the bad guy, Razor Ramon. You get your OG, like I said, logo shirts, NWO, WWF, Survivor Series, Raw's War. 500level.com. Check them out. Join the partnership program. Some of the best quality shirts, premium quality, regular quality. Some of the best product you will find out there, officially licensed WWE, NXT merchandise, and OG Legend stuff. 500level.com. Check them out. Keep doing the thing. We'll see you all later. Ooh, yeah. No, but honestly, like, it's what I got out of that is it's a mindset. You have a mindset that a lot of people don't have, and it's a mindset to succeed, and that you're going to achieve everything you want to achieve. You've already manifested what you want. You're going to work to get there no matter what. There's a part that you mentioned earlier that I want to ask you about before we get to that. There's two things. First things first, how important to you, because you said you have a background in bodybuilding and fitness competition type of stuff. How important was it for you to get involved in bodybuilding?
How important, the first time I lifted the weight. So let's go a little bit more back.
Yeah, because you started with, I was at the Arnold Classic. Like, why were you at the Arnold Classic? Okay. Go ahead.
I'll tell you how I got there, but I'm gonna add a little bit more to it.
Yeah.
When we were kids, we didn't have much money. I'm the oldest of my other two siblings. There was times, because the tickets when WWE would come into town, into Hidalgo, Texas, down in the Rio Grande Valley, which is border of northern Mexico and Texas, 2 hours away from Laredo, the tickets were $67.50 per person. To be, closer to the ring, you want to be up there. At the time, they were $15-20. Sometimes my mom didn't have money to buy those. So she got intelligent, and I know now it's frowned upon, but back then, she said, hey, let's go to the airport and we'll sit there and you guys can watch the wrestlers arrive if they're nice enough and get you a picture. So we had our Kodak, whatever thing, and we're sitting there. And I won't forget when I started seeing these guys coming in, I'm like, man, they look different. Man, why does their skin look so tan? Why are they so big? And I just got fascinated by seeing how everybody would turn and look like, who's that? Is that Randy Orton? Oh, who's that? That Triple H? Oh, who's that? Oh my God. And I was like, I want some of that. What? And I was a fat kid.
Yeah.
So I was like, what am I doing? So for that Christmas, '08, my dad, he's like, what do you want? And I was like, Dad, like, what happened to the old weights you used to have in Mexico? He's like, they're all there, whatever. He's like, we can go pick them up and bring them back over here across to Texas. And I was like, okay, cool. We brought all the weights. I washed them, spray painted them so they can look somewhat nice. And I started using that as equipment. He got me a bench from Academy Sports and Outdoors. It was an $89 bench. I won't forget the price. And I would do that every day after school. And then when I started getting a little bit stronger, I would go to the weight room because now I had more confidence. Then we fast forward a year later, one of my uncles, and I will never be thankful enough to him. He saw me putting in all this work at 14, 15 years old. And he said, hey, man, come on, jump into the truck. He takes me to a local gym. And I won't forget the name of the gym was Far Gym in Fort, Texas. And it was $9.99 a month. And he paid for my gym membership for 3 years all at once. He says, now you have a gym. Now it's your responsibility to come here. He says, I don't know how you're going to find a way here, but you have a gym membership and you have the whole equipment. It's 24 hours. At the time, we had one vehicle. My mom had school that she had to go for cosmetology. So she had to be at school at 5 p.m. and she would not finish school at 11:30 p.m. And they got to pick up my sister and come pick me up. So she would drop me off after school at 4 p.m. into the gym, and she would not pick me up till midnight. I remember people at the gym would be like, hey man, do you need a ride? Like, I would take my homework. I would, eat my meal there. I would sit at the kids club watching Dora the Exploradora with children because I was waiting I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go do another workout. I didn't build an ounce of muscle because I was overtraining so much, but what I built was the hunger, the foundation that is now who I am. Meaning, I was willing to sit there and be patient and wait because I was surrounded, but I knew that was going to take me to where I wanted to be one day. That was step one. We fast forward. I start getting more into social media, Facebook, Instagram starts being born. I come across this guy named Greg Plitt. Tremendous guy if you look him up. Cover model. He was the mannequin for Under Armour when Under Armour started. Kick-ass dude, Army Ranger, top of the line. He ended up passing away, and he had a huge effect on me. The times that we met in person, he was my mentor that taught me how to build my physique. They were having a memorabilia for him at the Arnold Classic. So I said, you know what? Let me go to the Arnold Classic. I want to pay my respects to Greg and his father and everything because they were so good to me. And that's where I met into the director of talent relations for WWE. At the time, I had just qualified for nationals on strongman. So I was like, let me also talk to see what competitions I can qualify for. But once I got there and I got that card, I was like, fuck strongman. I ain't going to do that. And that's when it was a crossroads of life.
Yeah.
Somebody died. And I remember Greg, because he was a motivational speaker too. He used to say, sometimes people have to die for others to be born. I never understood that.
Maybe Greg was working from the shadows and hit the crossroads.
And here's the synchronicities of life. Today, November 9th of 2013 was the first time we met in person. And it's crazy that we're talking about him November 9th. Fast forward to 2025.
That's insane. That's crazy how that works out sometimes. And then I also want to ask you about this because you also brought up, because I do want to run down a list of names that you worked with because you worked with some cool names. But before that, did they ever give you a reason why they retracted their offer in that second tryout? Or was it more just go out there, do your thing, and try to come back again? Did they ever give you a reason why they offered to you and then rescinded it?
Nope.
No.
And that's okay because I look at myself back then and I would have said no too.
Yeah.
I look at myself now. And if you guys have time, you can watch back NXT. It's going to be, I can't remember the episode, but it's in 2018, June, when I had my match. And I look at a good-looking kid, in shape, this and that, but too young in the face, not through, I don't know, man. There's a thing about when you see somebody and you can tell, like, that motherfucker has been through shit. I don't know what it is, but I believe what that fucker says. And then there's a difference, and we're like, yeah, this guy's playing something he really is not. And that's what I'm saying is I would have told myself no, too, because I wasn't ready. Today, I feel ready. Last night, facing Miles Bourne, I felt ready. Booker T pulled me to the side. He's like, son, tremendous. It's like, Booker, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Miles Burn thing, and we'll talk about that one second. But that was the next thing I was going to bring up next was like, how did you connect with Booker T, and how did you end up in Reality of Wrestling? Because obviously it's a big promotion in Texas, but was Booker the one that you went to when you went to go find a trainer? Like, how did you connect with Booker?
So the way I connected to Booker was through a good friend of mine, Terrell Temple. If you guys look it up, he's a tremendous talent. He also wrestles for Reality of Wrestling. And we were training at the same school in San Antonio. So I told him, hey, man, is it cool if I ride with you? And he's like, yeah, sure, dude. I'm on the show tonight. He's like, just bring your stuff. You know, in wrestling, you always take your stuff, whether you're booked or not. You always bring it. And I rode with him, and this was in 2018. And I remember it was in the summer of 2018. I arrived, and they said, Booker's not in today. He's with traveling with WWE. I was like, man. So they're like, hey, but we need guys selling T-shirts and nachos. So the first night I stepped foot in Reality Wrestling, I actually sold T-shirts and nachos for other wrestlers. Now that I beat, and you know, it's funny how life, you know, but I'm selling their T-shirts, man. And I'm like, man, this sucks, you know. Went back and I asked my friend Terrell, I was like, yo, is it cool if I ride with you next month? He was like, yeah, bro, cool. So I go again. Booker's there now. So he's in his office. So I said, so what do I do? How do I get to this? I said, I truly believe in ask and you shall receive. So I go and stand outside Booker's office and I say, either Booker has to go to the restroom, he has to go to his car, he has to go to lunch, he has to do something that he's going to leave that office, and that's going to be my elevator pitch. And lo and behold, I hear Booker's voice. He's on the cell phone. And I'm outside there holding my bag, looking at him. And he's on the phone looking at me and then hangs up. He's like, who are you? I'm like, sir, nice to meet you. My name is Max. I came with Terrell. I've been wrestling for 2 years, and I'll see if there's an opening for tonight. You got your stuff? I was like, yes, sir. He's like, well, go change. I was like, and this is like 3 p.m. in the day. You know, call time is 2. Talent's barely arriving. Everybody's all dressed up. Showtime is not till 7 p.m. So I go change. And I don't know if it was a rib or something, but Booker took off for lunch.
Yeah.
So I come out in my wrestling trunks, boots. I'm putting some tan, you know, to get some color. And I'm just standing there now with my bag and my wrestling trunks, knee pads and boots without a shirt. And people are passing by. They're like, who the fuck is this guy? What is his fucking problem? So I'm standing there. I'm like, hey, have you seen Booker T? He's like, oh, he just left. I was like, man, fuck. So I'm kind of like, oh, man. So I kind of put on a T-shirt and some sweatpants. Booker comes back and he looks at me. He's like, oh, yeah, you. He's like, come here. I was like, man. He picked somebody out of the students. He's like, you, do you guys know each other? And they're like, no. He's like, get in the ring. Bruce Pritchard was there, MVP was there, Booker was there, and the whole Reality of Wrestling roster was there. He's like, give me a 5-minute match, do not go over time. Ding, ding. I was like, okay. And I called the whole match. We finished the match at 4:55. Booker's like, you're on the show tonight. Fuck. So I go on the show. That's my debut in the summer of 2018. I was there for about a year and a half. And I remember they didn't have much for me. You know, I was mainly putting guys over, and I'm just like, man, I'm 245 pounds, 250 pounds at the time. I'm putting over a guy that's 170 pounds. Doesn't look like he's done a push-up sometimes in life. I'm like, man, like, so COVID happens. I had the Texas championship at the time. They stripped it away because there was regulations. Only, you know, certain talent was able to work. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to step foot away from wrestling. Fast forward to January of 2023, the Royal Rumble comes to the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. My brother comes into town, and we're at the very last row in the Alamo drinking beer. And Raquel Rodriguez comes out. And me and Raquel went to high school together in Hidalgo, Texas. She was a senior, and I was a freshman at the time. And I remember my brother was like, yo, she's like, isn't that the girl that went to high school with you? I was like, yeah. He's like, why is she there and you're not? And motherfucker, did that fucking bother me.
His younger brother?
My younger brother. Yeah,
that sounds about right.
He's 4 years younger. He kept eating. He had a pizza and a beer. He's just like,
just talking shit.
Yeah, and I'm just like, why'd you say that? So I had stepped foot away from wrestling because I was just fed up, dude. I was just like, man, it's kind of like a dog shit.
So you didn't wrestle for 3 years?
No. So in 2000, COVID happens. I kept wrestling. Yeah, so 2021, I started wrestling again. I was mainly wrestling for SWE. It was I don't know if you guys heard. Kevin Sullivan was there. Teddy Long.
And
I
then Keith
was.
Slater was part of it or something for a bit.
Yes, they were bringing in Enzo. They were bringing a lot of names. It was a cool company, and then the company, went out of business. So that was the time that I was like, dude, I don't know, man. I'm kind of done with this. Like, I don't know. This is not going to really hit. And step foot away, try to open up a business, failed, did this, failed. It was kind of like, when you're going down the street and it says wrong way, wrong way, wrong way. Everything that I was doing was just wrong, 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 kind of making me do a U-turn. But I didn't want to do a U-turn.
I had to do the same thing, so I get it. It's like you have to go do something else to realize there's nothing else I really want to do I'm going to be successful at. That's what I want to do. It's in the back of my head anyways.
Yes.
My brother said this shit. Lit a fire in me.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I'm 28 years old. Fuck. Then the very next day, I start training again. I said, I'm going to get back in the ring. I hit up Reality Wrestling. Like, is there any way I can come back? If you guys, absolutely, we'll have a match for you in the next show. Thank you very much. Boom, they have a match. I come back normal, just wrestling trunks, boots, not really no persona to me. I wasn't cutting promos, nothing, because I was on the mindset of, well, if they don't have nothing for me, then I guess instead of me creating opportunities. So I shifted my mindset from waiting for opportunities to creating opportunities. I think that is a night and day in making it in life. So, I bump into Booker T at the airport because they call me for extra work in Tampa, Florida for the Royal Rumble. It's crazy. Royal Rumble the following year,
full
2024.
circle, yeah.
And we had the same section, the same, terminal, C-24 in Houston, Texas. And I see him sitting down. I was like, man, fuck it. So I go in, I sit next to him. I'm like, hey, Booker, how are you? He's like, Max, how are you? I was like, well, we're short talking. People are coming up for autographs. And I won't forget people like, who's that guy? I'm like, I don't know. Anyways, so Booker, can we get I was like, man, fuck you guys. Come on. And it was awesome, but also like, man, like this is so cool. And
but isn't that funny? You're back at the airport, you're seeing a wrestler get this adulation, and once again, you're like, I want that now. I got the size, I got big because the wrestler saw as a kid. Now I'm an adult sitting next to a star. I want to be a star.
So you see how the synchronicities of life, if you're really an aware person and you sit down and you pay attention, you realize how beautiful life is.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to Booker, and I already had this lingering idea of saying, hey, Booker, I have this idea for this character. And I have this promo, that I want to show you. He's like, okay. He's like, yeah. I'm like, can I get your phone number? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. He gives me a phone number. I was like, bam, that's a win. I didn't have no promo. I started filming one. So I come back home and I filmed this.
Creating an opportunity. I love
exactly.
It. Yeah.
I grew up, my dad used to watch Scarface a lot. And I remember watching Al Pacino always have a cigar in his hand. So I'm thinking, you know what? I like cigars. Let me put in a cigar. Let me put in a couple girls. Let me put in this and that. Boom. Finish the video. Start editing it. Bam. Send it to him. I see him at Reality Wrestling. I'm like, Booker, what'd you think of the promo? He's like, I like it. You got more? I'm like, yes, sir. I didn't have more. That pushed me to start filming more. So I started filming another 2. Send it to him. Okay, we want to change your entrance. I need you to get a nice leather jacket. And I said, yes, sir. So I remember saying, okay, fuck. I have this character. I need a nice leather jacket. I can't go to Macy's and buy a $60 jacket. I can't go to Men's Warehouse and say, hey, give me the nice. No, because probably somebody else has it. And I don't want to be looked at and be like, well, man, anyways. So I said, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. I don't know what it is. I had already bought tickets for WrestleMania weekend in Jersey for WrestleMania 40. And I went not to see the show, but to be there in place in case they needed extra workers for anything, for entrances, whatever. So I was in town, send the right emails. Unfortunately, they didn't pick me. One of my boys is there, and he says, yo, you want to go Atlantic City? I was like, hey, it's an hour and a half away. Let's go. Let's go gamble. Let's have a good time. So we're driving to Atlantic City. Me growing up, I've always been a huge 50 Cent fan. So I see up in the billboard, and 50 Cent happens to be playing that night. Look up the tickets. The tickets were $80. I was like, you want to go? Let's go. We arrive there around 10:30. Not a lot of people. Talking, drinking whiskey. By the time you know it, this place starts getting packed. So the people pushes us to the front. 50 Cent comes out. Bam, bam, bam. Third song, he's about to play Many Men. The lights dim. 50 takes off this red leather jacket that he's wearing, and I have footage of this. And he throws the jacket, and guess who was the son of a bitch that caught it? And I caught it, and people are fighting. No, and I'm thinking, I got my jacket. So my boy is like, put it on. So I put it on, and one guy was like, I'll give you $2,000 right now for it. I was like, nope. I walked out of there, and he's like, bro, you got your fucking jacket. So the debut, if you go back to reality wrestling, my first red leather jacket is 50 cents. I think it's valued like at $1,200 in a New York boutique. I looked it up, everything from the brand. And I met 50 Cent last October. So as I walk up to 50, I have the leather jacket on, and I have the picture on my Instagram. And 50 looks at it, and I was like, hey, man, you recognize this? I caught this from you at Harrah's in Atlantic City. He's like, yeah. He's like, I have a matching bucket hat. I was like, yeah. Got the picture. My brother's there with us, and he's like, how did you just talk to 50 like that? I was like, and
yeah.
So for me, it was kind of like, man, if this is not the good luck, here you go. I don't know what it is.
It's the breadcrumbs of moments and good luck that keeps you going too, because it's like there has to be a reason this happened the way it happened. Otherwise, like, you know, I've come this far now, so like I got to keep going. Or this happens, that must have been a sign. So you know,
you still wear that 50 jacket?
I still have it. I have it in my closet right now. Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to frame that with my picture. I just haven't framed it, but I have it there next to my leather jackets. I have 15 my own customized leather jackets. Every single month for the last 15 months, I've been coming out with a brand new jacket. This one is the one I debuted last night for the month of November. I have a different one for the month of December, month of January, and we're going to keep going. I feel like the O2 Cena with the different trunks and boots that he had, you know, for every single team that would play. But what I'm saying is all these little nuggets that happen in life for me is, I'm going the right way. And sometimes people don't see your final vision. I see it. That's all that matters, because I'm the one protecting it. I'm the one building it. People are going to either come and try to destroy it, or there's going to be some people that are going to help you build it. And here's the thing. Here's the sad part about life. Sometimes people help you build it, and then along the way, they start destroying it because it bothers them that they didn't think you were going to amount to something. Sometimes people believe in you, but only to a certain level. And then you overcome that level, and they see like, oh, this guy ain't stopping. Oh, and then you remind them of what they could have been. Now they start slowly feeling a sense of jealousy, a sense of like, okay. Happens. I feel it all the time. I feel it more now than last year. Close people, part of life. And here's the thing, cut them off. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Hey, yo, it's your boy, the Wrestling Classic, Justin. I'm here to show you guys the new officially licensed WWE plush toys that are available now at walmart.ca online. Guys, you can get yourself a Jey Uso. Yeet. Look, he's got the hair, a little mullet going on here. He's got the glasses. Probably the coolest one that I think out of them all. I actually really like the Jey Uso. We got some legends. We got some guys like Hulk Hogan. We got Hulkamania. Got the Hulkster handlebars and all. We got the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is up in here. Look at the details in the jacket and all that fun stuff. We got the tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns. And guys, I'm only showing you some of them. There's so many other ones that aren't here with me now. There's Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, CM Punk, Rhea Ripley. This one's one of my favorites. Jake the Snake Roberts with the snake. A little cool detail to have the snake with him. I think anyone would enjoy playing with this guy. It's got the OG gear and everything as well. Snakeskin boots. Of course, I had to get Bret the Hitman Hart, the best there is, the best there was, the best there will be. Can I do like the thingy, the little hand thingy? I don't know. It's cool, Bret Hart. Once again, the details are really cool. You can pull the straps down. That's another thing that's like a little interesting, you know, if you want to be playing with these. It's his retirement tour, last time ever. It says it on the shirt. This is a very exclusive plush toy of John Cena. You can do the whole You Can't See Me, last time ever. Pretty cool John Cena plush toy. These are kind of larger than your usual plush toys. They call them full size because they're a little bit bigger than the tiny ones that you can also get from Walmart. And then we also got none other than the final boss, The Rock, doing the people's eyebrow and everything. Check these out, walmart.ca. They'll be in stores. Select styles will be in select stores next month in November. And then in 2026, they'll be in some stores in the United States. WWE officially licensed plush toys. These were just some of the ones I could show you. There's a ton more. make sure you get them all before they do another drop, so you don't miss out on any of the drops. Yeah. Let's talk about Miles Bourne. You wrestled Miles Bourne yesterday. Obviously, he's in NXT. He's in the place where you want to get to. He's in the WWE. What did it mean to wrestle him, and how much does this match matter to you? Because you know other people will be watching it. You know higher ups will be checking this out. You know the people that send him from NXT and be like, let's go see this thing that we sent him to go do. And then they're going to see you wrestling him. How much did the match yesterday matter to you?
It mattered. It's every match to me. I take it as it could be my last match because you never know. We've seen people die in the ring. You've seen people that after the match, God forbid, something happens, they never get to wrestle again. So I can't say this match is more important than any other match. No, it's not. It's another stepping stone to where I want to get. Yes, he is where I'm not there yet. Yesterday was a tremendous match. Did I have a hiccup? Yeah, I probably had a hiccup. As far as, it was a non-title match, so he didn't take the championship. The belt's with me. It's not in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miles Bourne. He felt some shots to the face. He felt some strong chops to the chest, some big clubs to the back, a superplex. We jumped from the top. The whole Texas City was like, this is awesome. I'm there like, why am I doing this? My back is killing me. 1, 2. So yeah, is every single match to me is another stepping stone. I don't see it as, oh man, well, there's a plateau. I've been here. No, another stepping stone. Last month, I beat Javier Bernal. He's an NXT alumni.
Yeah.
He was with NXT. I beat his ass too. Bam. And who's next month? I don't know. And whoever it is, I'll figure it out because there's always a game plan. I'm the type of guy that I believe the more you plan, the least it goes your way. Sometimes you just have to have a blueprint, an idea, and you need to figure out because life is not a straight road. It is a segue of moments. It is a segue of trials and tribulations. It is a segue of wrong signs, green lights, yellow lights, red lights. You have to just figure it out when it's time to brake, when it's time to accelerate, and when it's time to cruise control. And I have figured that out for myself as we go.
I'm a big fan. I always say, I'm like, you can to start with an idea and then just start. Don't try to plan it out perfectly. Say it's going to happen this way. It's good to have a plan, but it's not going to go that way. Just start and you'll figure it out and hit the road bumps when you hit them. Sending people back to Orlando with the scars to show who kicked their ass is a good thing to do. When we met, you were already this Max Castellanos. You were already who you are today. You had the women, you had this guy that look. This is the only Max I know. I didn't know the Max before. So that being said, I feel like you're in your element. I feel like you're in your groove. Every time I see you, I'm like, no, this is him exaggerated. This is who he is. The women, the cigars, the look. Like, he is the most confident he's probably ever been in his career right now. Hence why I wanted to get you on the show. Hence why I want to talk to you. Let me ask you this, because I'm going to be remiss if I don't ask you this, just to switch gears for a second. You got to work with JTG and Shad Gaspard. How was that experience? Because I had a close relationship with Shad. Unfortunately, obviously, he passed away. But was there anything you learned from Shad and JTG in the time working with them?
Man, I got to work with Shad right before he passed, actually. And I won't forget, we were up in the ring before the show started, and him and JTG they're like bickering about something.
Yeah.
And Shad comes here. He's like, how much you weigh? And I was like, 240. He's like, okay. So he picks me up like in a sidewalk slam.
Just like grabs you?
And he's just holding me. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, this grown-ass dude is carrying another grown-ass dude. Like, JTG is like, yo, why you have him there like that? He's like, oh. And he just drops me. So I just drop. And there's like people watching. I was like, all right, excuse me. Are you gonna at least? He's like, oh, sorry, bro. And then we were just talking. I mean, we had the match. Like, he pulled me aside after me and Shad, and he's like, bro, you got talent, bro. He's like, you good shit out there, good shit. You listen good. I was like, hey, man, thank you very much. Anything else? He's like, no, good shit. We had fun. And it was a very, in this business, it's very quick. It's a very quick ride. That meaning, let's say they give you a big match and you're like, man, this is coming up. By the time you're in the ring, boom, ding, 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 the match is over. You're like, dude, that went by so fast. You have to catch yourself and enjoy those moments that when you're standing on the top rope and you're looking at the crowd, you have to soak in that memory. because sometimes when you get in the ring, the athlete, the performer, just goes into autopilot and does what they know how to do. Same thing. There's been times I'm sure you've been driving home and you're like, wait, how did I get home? And you just knew how to take the turns. Your mind was somewhere else. That's wrestling. Unless you go from unconscious to conscious and you start absorbing the people booing you, the people cheering you, your music playing, the lights, the smoke, you're like, I'm actually doing the thing I said I was going to do. Man, this is pretty cool. And that's what I'm saying. That's my whole concept is catch yourself in these moments, not just as a performer, but just in life, where what you have right now, I bet 10 years ago you would kill to have. And now you have it, but you find a way to complain about, oh, well, if I only had this too. Well, I can't wait to have this. Well, when you do have it 10 years from now, you're going to find something else to complain. You're never going to be satisfied. You can have everything and you're always going to feel empty. I never feel empty. People tell me that, oh, you need this, you need. I feel full.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, listen, we got a lot in common. I think a lot of the same way you think. And I think this conversation has made me a bigger fan because I relate to a lot of what you're saying. Like I said, I've only known this Max Castellanos. I've known this version of you. And this version of you has gotten opportunities a little bit outside of wrestling. You've done some modeling, done some acting. You're like the spokesperson for a beer, I believe. How does it feel to know that, like, hey, like there's other things I can do, whether it's outside of wrestling as well now, because I feel the most confident. I found myself. Like I feel okay in my own skin.
So when you feel good in your own skin, obviously the confidence you cannot fake. It's just something from the way you walk to the way you talk to the way you shake somebody's hand. You look them in the eye. You don't give them a dead fish for a hand. It shows like this guy is proud of who he is. You know, can come off as arrogant and sometimes, you know, but when you build that confidence, it carries over to many things. At the same time, same like I said earlier, everything has a shelf life. Wrestling, there's only so many bumps you can take. There's only many matches you can do before you say, you know what, I don't know about this anymore. Acting and modeling is another avenue to still be in the entertainment business, but not be able to take those bumps. And also, compared to indie wrestling, acting and modeling pays a lot more without even having to take a chop.
Yeah.
You just memorize a couple lines, deliver them, pre-catering, unlimited coffee, cigar breaks, back action. So, man, when you've been through the wrestling, all the bumps, all the bullshit, and, you know, the hot dogs and the $20 pay in front of 3 people, and then you get a call and you're like, hey, we're looking for a model for grunt style. We're going to sign you. This is going to be the pay. We're going to pay you all this. We're going to take you to this exclusive ranch. We're going to shoot. You're going to get free merchandise every single month. You're on the website. You're going to be on the email list sent to millions of people. They got 1.1 million followers that they're putting my face. Man, this is not so bad after all. You know, I might consider jumping over here. No wonder The Rock left to Hollywood. It's like, yeah, dude, it's not a bad deal. Obviously, and he paved the way for all of us because it inspires generations saying there is more life after wrestling. You know, and so I did Twang Beer Salt. It's a beer salt for beer companies that you do, and then Grunt Style, which is one of the best companies I've ever worked with. The way that happened, I won't forget, is the night before I got the call. And going back to my friend Terrell Temple, he got me into that. Same that he got me into reality wrestling, he got me into Grunt Style. He got called from Grunt Style, so he's like, "Yo, I'm shooting with." I was like, "Bro, that's crazy, man. I love that brand. I wear that brand all the time. You know, they sell it here at stores. It's, you know, it's a military brand. I love it." My apartment flooded the night before. So I was up all night. There was this huge storm. And I'm just like, man, whatever. So my phone keeps ringing in the morning. And I'm seeing like, dude, not right now. Not right now. I'm trying to sleep. I'm trying to catch up on sleep. So I finally answer after 3 calls. I'm like, what? He's like, yo, what are you doing? I was like, nothing, dude. I'm trying to get some sleep. My apartment's a mess. Like, well, what do you want? He's like, bro, I'm at the shoot. A model didn't show up. Can you be here in the next 50 minutes? I was like, for Grunt Style? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what do I bring? He's like, just jeans and boots. I'll be there.
Yeah.
And I got there. They threw me a t-shirt, posed like this, posed like that. Here's another t-shirt. Here's a hoodie, do this. Next thing you know, the following week, I have a meeting with them over a Zoom meeting. They're like, we want to have a meeting with you to talk about, see if we can bring you in as one of our models. So absolutely. Bam! That weekend, Sunday, Father's Day, my grandpa passes away. My grandpa was like my father. He passes away unexpectedly. I'm driving to go see him. He dies an hour before I got there, heart attack. So, okay, I'm processing the news. I have to break the news to my mom. I've never seen a human being cry as hard as she did, collapse on the floor, like a toddler that, I don't know. And I'm just like, if there's moments that you have to be strong, it is right now. Then we had to break the news to everybody else and slowly, start getting the funeral arrangements. So Tuesday comes and that's the second day of the service. So I get this note on my calendar of Zoom meeting with Grunstyle. It's like, fuck, I forgot, man. And right away, a crossroads happened. Number one, man, I can't do it, or suck it up, put on some sunglasses, and take the meeting. I go to the car, sit down, wipe the tears, put the sunglasses on. What's up, guys? Thank you very much for, talk to me. Hey, Max, you did great. We're going to bring you in. We have this, and that. I'm listening to all this, but my mind starts wandering off, and I'm trying to, yes, I love it. This is going to be the pay, and we're looking to, have you for the next year. We want to sign. Yes. Where do I sign? We'll send you the PDF, and the next shoot is going to be a 3-day studio shoot. I'll say, okay, cool. Sign with Grunstyle. One of the hardest days of my life. Saying goodbye. Would not even get to say goodbye to him because I was an hour too late. And he had a heart attack on Father's Day. As soon as I finished with that call, went into the funeral home, did the eulogy for him. After that, people started getting up, speaking on him. Went outside. Man, I'm seriously, when you sprint?
Yeah.
And you're done running and you like get your hands on your knees, you're like, you're so tired. I had to do that. I had to do that outside because like, dude,
you have to take that deep breath. You have to take that breath of like,
dude, I'm being tested. To tell you the level of stress and everything that happened within those 4 days, I lost about 15 pounds within 4 days of just body weight from just not eating, just stress, just everything. How we, because my mom she was devastated. My grandma, everything was a mess. And then, traveling back to San Antonio, getting clothes, driving back. It was a mess. Found a way, figure it out.
Yeah.
So what does that do? That builds a foundation stronger. That builds me into the man that cannot be broken. And that's what I'm saying. Every single thing is either building me or destroying me. The choice is yours. So I connect everything. I was like, it's funny. Life says, you know what? You're going through shit. Here's an opportunity. Are you going to take it? Or are you going to complain about it? No, I'll take it. Bring it on. Same thing. Booker T calls me the night before, 24-hour notice. You're wrestling Miles Bourne tomorrow. That match was for somebody else, not for you. Let's do it. That is preparation meets opportunity.
That's awesome. I honestly, I think it's a great way to wrap it up, because if we learned anything, I think I learned that like you have a ton of perseverance, ton of commitment, and once again, when opportunity appears, like you grasp on that opportunity, you make the most out of it. And I'm so intrigued to see now moving forward. I feel like now I know you a little bit better than I did before, so I'm a little bit more invested into how this plays out. I'm intrigued to see what happens when you move forward, and I'm a fan. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you though, like what are your goals? Because we're wrapping up 2025. We got a month or so left. What are your goals for 2026? Where do you see yourself in 2026?
Signing a multi-deal, a big deal with the biggest company in the world.
We're gonna put it out there. I'm with you.
Yeah. You know why? Because I have a lot of footage that I've clipped, that I've said some shit that back then sounded ludicrous, and now it fits so perfect with my videos. I'm like, man, I was saying this shit back in 2016, 2017. All of a sudden, when I do these edits and stuff, I'm like, man, like, he really wanted to be a wrestler all this time. Same thing when I was a kid, like one day I'm gonna be a wrestler in career day. No, you gotta pick a college course. No, I don't want to be a college course. I don't want to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna speak it into existence because I love when things age well. they're like, I love that. Look at that video. You know, when you see somebody years ago say something and they play it into music and then it's like the final product, you're like, oh, that's so cool. So yes, I will sign it.
We're going to clip this, and then when you show up, I'm going to make a video where it goes into you being there. Because it's true. I've said a lot of things that I just said out of the side of my mouth because I was like, someone asked me a question, and I was like, this is my answer. I didn't think it was going to happen, and then it happened. And I'm like, oh, okay.
So
I get it.
Clear. I'll say it clear so you can clip this. I will sign a contract with the biggest company in the world. Mark my words.
There you go. Thank you for doing this. We appreciate it. We're going to have you back on. I feel like I'm very invested in the story.
When you're that big.
Huh?
So like, just make sure you accept the invite when you're that big.
Don't forget about us.
Yeah. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. That's the first thing I'm gonna do is unfollow.
Like, don't need this guy anymore.
Hey
but
guys,
thank you so much. Appreciate your time. This was awesome. Honestly, you carried the show, but it was great listening to your story. I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't want to ask you any other questions. I'm like, you're telling us who you are, and that's what I wanted everybody to get out of this. Is if they watch us, they leave being like, they have an opinion on you, whether they like you or they dislike you. They have an opinion on you now, and that's what matters. And thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely, Justin. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good one. See ya.